Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Catfish Keith, gearing up for a Iowa City performance at the James Theater coming up on the 8th of August. Keith, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Dennis.
It's nice to see you. It's been a little while since we've had a chance to converse, but I always follow your music from your webpage, and also you have great presence on social media, always letting people know where you're playing, and you do a lot of traveling. We'll talk about your upcoming tour in just a little bit. You also have a brand new album out, Sugar for Sugar, which if you're watching the video, you can see me holding it up and waving it in front of the camera right now. But before we talk about current activities, I kind of want to go back to the beginning. For those who aren't familiar, before the Iowa Blues Hall of Fame, before all your albums, multiple mentions in Grammy Awards, and all the great recognition that you've gotten over the years. Growing up, and I know you're a native Iowan, when did you come into contact with, the traditional acoustic blues music and realize that was going to be where your art was going to focus for your whole career?
I heard it as the son of two teachers. I was always kind of a nerdy kid. And I love to go to the places like the public library. And that was a big source of me finding records of folk music and old blues. But when I got into fingerpicking the guitar, which really excited me because it sounded like a whole band or orchestra right in your fingers. So that music really inspired me, and it so the people that were actual living playing people at the time that were inspirations to me, that a lot of them are still going, people like Paul Simon and Leo Kottke, and they were just finger pickers that I loved their music, but I wanted to take it back to where did they get the music from. And so that was part of my sort of nerdy pursuit, to find the earliest music I could. And I didn't have to go back too far, because this was the early 1970s, mid 70s. And really I only had to go back to the 1960s, and because there was a lot of the old blues players that started recording in the 1920s and 30s that were rediscovered. People like Son House, Mississippi John Hurt, Skip James, Booker White, Fred McDowell, Doc Watson, Elizabeth Cotton, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, and I just could go way deep into that world. And that's really where my big inspiration lies, mostly those early, real scratchy sounding records. Charlie Patton, you can't hardly get through the scratches, but when you get to the music, it really hit me just there, how personal and unique each artist was. There was, everybody had kind of a weird, quirky, unique style. And when I was making my own style, I took elements of that and learned just tons and tons of repertoire. And that journey still fuels me to this day, and the process is the same. It's just I guess I just know more songs now. But I love that process of listening to old records. And this stuff that goes way back to, Frank Stokes and the Carter Family, and Blind Blake, and just a lot of great artists that were really inspiring and made that the whole sound just with their fingers and one guitar and a stomping foot and a voice. And I knew, and it was sort of a revelation, because I'd already been playing a little while as a young teenager, and it sort of came to me when I was about 15 that, wow, this is the magic thing that I really want to do with my life. And somehow, miraculously, here at 64 years old, I'm still plugging away over 4 decades later. And
well, as you said, there was a resurgence of the traditional blues in the 60s and the 70s. But still, it's a 15-year-old in Iowa. It's the mid-70s.
Right.
Your friends must have thought you were kind of nuts.
Well, my friends, yeah, yeah, in a word. But like I remember, friends of mine, their window into getting into the blues were rock bands.
Sure, exactly.
You know, and I wasn't really. I mean, you know, I liked it okay, but I wasn't really into that. The way I got into Leadbelly and you know, Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee and these people. My mom had a few blues records around the house and folk music too. So there was Johnny Cash and Joni Mitchell, and we had a Leadbelly record and just a few records, but they were really great ones. And the Curious Young Baby Catfish. I listened to those records, and they really, you know, struck home and made me just want to dig further and further into it. And so before you know it, I was trying to learn a lot of songs just by the old-fashioned way, just by listening to records and, you know, getting a few licks and absorbing it kind of all in your soul. And then when you go to make the song yourself, it definitely, you know, it made so I had a unique individual style. And but I was taking elements not just from country blues, but really from all guitar playing. So I was also taking tricks from jazz players and Hawaiian players and you know, old time banjo players. So there are a lot of elements that are in my playing that come from a lot of places, but the real heart of it is that earliest blues, and that's really the songs that still get me.
You mentioned that you know, a traditional blues player is the entire band because they're you know, you're providing some percussion with your foot or tapping on the guitar. You know, you got a couple of fingers playing the bass line, a couple other fingers playing the lead. And I know that you primarily have always been a solo artist. Have you ever been in a band?
Well,
since the earliest days.
Yeah. I had a brief flirtation in Iowa City. I had an electric band. It was called Catfish Keith and the Percolators. This was Marty Christensen playing bass and Paul Cunliffe playing the drums.
Okay.
And we had a trio for, I don't know, maybe a year or so. But and then on my albums I've recorded duets with some cool artists like Radislav Lorkovic. Played piano with me on a record.
Yeah, another great Iowa-based musician. Not so much Iowa-based anymore, but we claim him. His roots here.
Yeah, and so I recorded with him in 1999, and there was a harmonica player called Peter Madcat Ruth and a fiddle player called Randy Sabine. And Marty played bass on a few songs here and there. So I have recorded with some different artists, but more, I guess, probably duo setting at the most. And I will, when I record, sometimes I'll sing a harmony to myself or play another guitar part. But mostly it's me playing live and singing live, just like you hear in a show. And that's always been really the primary approach for me.
When did you start touring overseas? And I'm guessing that, you know, when you did that, you discovered that there was a hunger for this music there that may have surprised you.
Well, yeah. I mean, I made my first album when I was, I guess I recorded it when I was 21, probably came out when I was 22 or so. This would be in 1985 it came out. It was called Catfish Blues, and it was on a record label called Kicking Mule Records, which is a California-based label that really specialized in finger-picking guitar, and started by Stephen Grossman and Ed Denson. And anyway, I did that first album on that label, and then a handful of years went by, and I was still recording a little bit. And when I got together with Penny, we started our own label, Fishtail Records, because having had that first record deal you kind of learned what the business was and what it really was, and then how many things you could really do yourself. So we had that second recording ready, and we put that out in about 1990 on our own label, Fishtail, and officially 1992, but it was first a cassette in 1990, and formats were changing, but anyway.
Penny's off mic and behind the camera.
She is,
but
and I'm looking.
but she's kind of giving us the are those the right dates? Look,
right, giving me the signals.
Close enough.
But
early 90s.
Anyway, when so by this second album, I had finally found out that there had been interest. The label Kicking Mule didn't really let me know this, but my record was getting noticed in Europe and airplay all around the world, and which was very exciting to me. And then when we put out our second album, and it was the first on our own label, Fishtail, and it was called Pepper in My Shoe. But Penny sent those albums and promo packages out to radio stations and DJs and festivals all over the world, and we got interest back. So it ended up in '92 we did our very first tour of we went to the UK and Ireland, and we ended up going to a lot of the European countries. But so that really took off at that time. So we were going over there sometimes several times a year. So as time went, like this next trip that we'll take to the UK will be our 55th tour.
Wow.
Going over there. And but we really found an audience in the UK and Ireland and Europe that were really in love, especially with these old weird blues that I loved. It seemed like there was more interest in that kind of blues there at that time than there was here in the United States. And a lot of times you'll go to, blues festivals these days, and there won't be that many acoustic artists on the lineups. But there were loads of places to play and people that loved the music, and we had some DJs like Paul Jones in the UK that was having me often on his shows, and so it really increased the audience. I don't know how many times fold, but a lot, and the interest really just got stronger and stronger. So we kept going. Got to play loads of beautiful festivals and be on the bill with a lot of great artists like Ray Charles and John Lee Hooker and Robert Cray. And it was just, I couldn't believe how my dreams were coming true, really, So that's been very gratifying to do that.
And as you said, headed back to the UK this fall for the 55th time.
I know, it's a lot of trips.
Do you have favorite spots that you kind of go to again and again, or is it different each time?
It'll be a little different each time, but there are definitely places and venues that where they're just like our dear old buddies, and we go back, and we love to go to Liverpool and Newcastle, and we play in London, and we play in Dublin and Ireland. And
I bet it seems like Ireland would be a particularly rich for traditional acoustic blues.
Well, there was a real love of song and learning there, and there were some Irish artists like Rory Gallagher that kind of broke through in a rock and roll fame, but he brought a lot of people, along with him to have that rich desire to get that cool old scratchy culture that we have here. That it's a sort of a unique little corner of the music world, but I really love it, and there were a lot of people that loved it too, as weird as it was.
Catfish Keith is going to be performing in, I'm not going to say a rare Iowa City appearance, but as busy as you are and as much time you spend on the road, it's a treat to get to have you performing at home.
To play in that beautiful James Theater, it's a really special atmosphere that's there, and there's nothing but the music, and it's just really fills my heart to be able to play there and get audience, and now as we've lived longer, we have so many people that have been lifetime friends that are fans, so it's like a fun family reunion with each show. It's really cool.
Tell me about the latest album, Sugar for Sugar.
Sugar for Sugar. We recorded that last summer, and I've grown to love recording kind of at this time of year, kind of the hottest time of the year, but it was this time last year that we were in the studio at Luke Tweedy's Flat Black Studios, which is in the Iowa City area. And we love going in there, and we laid down quite a bit last year. So it says Volume 1 on there, and there is going to be a Volume 2 that will be mostly recorded from last year and a little bit from this year too. That will make into the Volume 2, which will be called Salt for Salt, and after the one of those cool old blues lyrics. And anyway, the songs come from people like Richard Rabbit Brown and the Carter Family and Blind Willie Johnson, and some original songs too. And when I write original songs, they usually sound like they were written probably back then too, just because it's informed by the imagery and sound and lyrics from all those beautiful old songs. So,
but without the scratches.
Without the scratches.
Or do you put scratches in?
No, we don't. we get a really beautiful sound out there. It's great to record out at Luke's. And,
yeah. Oh, he does such a great job. Before we go, talk to me just for a couple of minutes, because you kind of have a business in making guitars available, restoring and working with guitars, and you have a particular style of guitar that you play and that you recommend, and that you. So tell me a little bit about that side of your career.
All along the way with the guitars, I've developed relationships with different builders and guitar companies. And when I was starting out, I got this old 1930 National guitar, and I got to know years later, like in 1997, I got to know the people of National Resophonic guitars, and that's like this one I have here. I'll show it off a bit since we are on video, but it's a steel-bodied tricone, and but these are guitars that were invented 100 years ago, basically.
Before there was any amplification,
right.
So you had to figure out ways to get for the music to be heard.
So as time went on, and I became a endorsed artist with National, as well as with Santa Cruz Guitars and some other companies. But I noticed there were a few artists selling a few Nationals, and so I thought, well, I'll try that too. And that sort of built on its own with sort of simpatico with playing gigs and playing the guitars a lot. So, and now I've been selling the guitars, and I really love it because when people get the guitars, I get a real vicarious thrill from it. As if it were my own.
That's a metal body guitar. Do you mostly play that, or do you play some wooden body too?
I play a lot of acoustic guitar too. So the National guitars are one part of what I do, but another pretty huge part is playing acoustic guitars built, and a lot of them are a little bit smaller bodied, what they call parlor-shaped guitars. And I have a signature guitar as well with the Santa Cruz Guitar Company out of Santa Cruz, California. That guitar is called the Catfish Special. And
Nice to have a guitar named after you. That's cool.
It even has a little, on that one, it has a little fishtail logo of me, the fish guy. Yeah, it's on the record there. But,
sure. Yeah.
But it's also on the headstock of my Catfish Special guitar, and that was quite an honor that they could do that. And so I have a lot of fun with the guitars, but I also help people get them too. So.
Catfish Keith performing at the James in Iowa City on August 8th. Tickets available at the regular website there for the JamesIC.com.
It's through the and it's through
the
Englert.
The Englert is producing. Yeah,
go to englert.org and you'll find that's where the tickets are for sale.
Oh, okay, so englert.org is best place to go for the tickets.
Yeah,
okay,
that's where
excellent. Yeah. Well, Keith, always great to see you and hear about your adventures, not only locally but all over the world as well.
Thanks a million, Dennis.
Good luck with this new album.
Brother.
And matter of fact, I'm gonna have Hollis play something from this right after the interview is over. So stay tuned for that here at KCCK. Again, I mentioned that you have a great social media and online presence. So if people want to connect with you and follow you on the web or on social media, how do they do that?
Well, just go to Facebook and look for Catfish Keith, and we're on Instagram too, and probably wherever else people.
And the website's catfishkeith.
catfishkeith.com.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, again, pleasure to see you. Have fun at the show. Good luck in your upcoming tour, and we'll be enjoying this and looking forward to the next one too.
I'm honored you could have me. Thanks.
Take care.
Dennis.
Thanks.
Thanks, brother.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.